Board of Trustees of the Harris County Department of Education is now convened in a board meeting on Wednesday, November 15th, 2023, in the boardroom at 6300 Irvington Boulevard, Houston, Texas, at 1:02 p.m. We wish to extend a warm welcome to everyone present at this meeting of the Board of Trustees. As trustees, we are here to set goals, listen to reports from the superintendent, approve budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and set policy for the district. It is not the role of the board to make day-to-day operational decisions. The management and day-to-day operations of the department are the responsibility of the superintendent. We have policies and procedures in place to resolve concerns and issues. This is a public meeting of the Board of Trustees, not a meeting of the public. Prior to this meeting, board members received information related to items on today's agenda. Agenda items will not necessarily be handled in the order listed on the notice. The meeting is open to all who wish to attend and hear the matters discussed. During the course of this meeting, the board may determine that a closed session is necessary. In that event, the board will meet in closed session to consider matters duly posted for this meeting as permitted by Section 551.071 to 551.084, inclusive of the Texas Government Code. I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking and that cell phones are turned off or in silent mode. Thank you for taking time today to join us for your interest in the Harris County Department of Education. We will start today with an invocation by Dr. Jesus Campos, the Coordinator for Research and Evaluation Institute.
Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today humbled and honored to offer this invocation. As we gather here today, let us take a moment to reflect on the significance of our collective mission, the service we provide to the children and families of Harris County, and the profound responsibility that falls upon us as public servants. Let us bow our heads and join our hearts in a moment of reflection and prayer. Dear Lord, we come before you with gratitude for the opportunity to serve our community. We ask for your guidance and wisdom to be bestowed upon us as we work towards a brighter future for the people of Harris County. Grant us the strength to carry out our duties with integrity, compassion, to lead by example, and to make decisions that benefit all, regardless of their background or circumstance. For our children and families, we ask for your divine guidance as they navigate the path of education and growth. Please grant them the resilience to face adversity, curiosity to explore the world around them, and the courage to pursue their dreams. As we move forward in our shared mission, let us please remember that our work is not merely a job, but a calling. We are entrusted with the minds and futures of not only this generation, but the next. We must carry out this duty with unwavering commitment and dedication. May the children and families of our community find in our educational institutions not just knowledge, but also tools to become compassionate, responsible, and resilient individuals who contribute to the betterment of society. In closing, we offer our prayers for a brighter, more equitable, and compassionate future. May our efforts be guided by wisdom, and may they bring us closer to a world where every person can flourish and every family can thrive. Amen.
That was greatly appreciated, Mr. Campos. And now the Pledge of Allegiance for the U.S. and TEGS flags by Jonathan Kondakar.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you both. We do not have any visitors for open forum, so we will move on to 5A, Employee of the Month, presented by Natasha Truitt.
Good afternoon. Today we honor an employee from our communications division, Ms. Deborah Sanchez-Treese as our November Employee of the Month. Debbie is HCDE's Multimedia Production Manager in charge of all video production for the organization and its divisions. While Debbie is usually hard at work in the background of HCDE's storytelling efforts, this month her team put her front and center to showcase the incredible impact she has on their work and all of HCDE. When discussing Debbie, the entire team had the same collective thought. She brings warmth, kindness, joy, and love to everything she does. She's the one that makes our stories really come to life, said Danielle Clark, Chief Communication Officer. She gets to know everyone and makes them feel they are the only person in the world when she's talking to them. And they are the only person in that moment. She just makes you feel so special. Debbie's work is on display in everything HCDE does and has come to personify what the organization is all about. Superintendent Colbert, who works with Debbie for his videos as well as convocation, says she has a keen ability to convey HCDE's passion for improving our society through public education. Many employees may know Debbie's voice, but not know who she is as a person. Oliver Dyke, who nominated Debbie for Employee of the Month, says she often takes on the matriarchal role for the team. Debbie is the heart of our division. She's our mother, psychologist, advisor, confidant, mentor, and just a good friend. There's a kindness and warmth there that you don't see every day. People feel that warmth and are drawn to her because it's authentic. Joining HCDE just before the COVID shutdown, Debbie started to develop her legacy with her first assignment, the Because We Care videos about Head Start food boxes for families in need. Communications team member said she made the story come alive to the viewer, and since then has been using the visual medium to showcase the spirit and synergy that drives HCDE's divisions, programs, and work. In the last 4 years, Debbie has made her mark on HCDE, elevating how the organization tells its stories through passionate videos that often provide a glimpse into the heart of the subject, pulling emotion and love into the center of the story. That often translates to stories that personifies HCDE's core values and mission. Debbie's colleagues in communications created a short video about how she impacts their work and all of HCDE through her unique approach to visual storytelling.
Normally, I'm on that side of the camera, but because of a special reason, I'm on this side. That special reason is this lady right here. This is Debbie Sanchez-Treese. She's my boss and HCDE's November Employee of the Month. They decided to recognize her in a special way, and there's nobody more deserving for this accolade.
So I tell you what, I come to you, and then you come to me.
She has an infectious smile. We spend so much time together, and I think it's ironic that I'm going to request to do the very thing that I hate to do that she's in charge of, just to tell her how much I appreciate her.
Kind of what I call the mom of the team. She is the heart of our team.
She's our psychologist. She's just a good friend.
I came March 20th, 2020. Right at that time was COVID.
She came on like the week after we shut down, so I didn't really meet Debbie until we came back to the office.
Long before finding the greatest workplace in Houston, she had a long and fulfilling career in TV news, starting at just 16 years old and ultimately graduating from Sam Houston State University with a degree in broadcast journalism.
I was in the Killeen Bureau. I covered all that central Texas area, and I covered the state legislature. I covered Fort Hood.
And then getting the opportunity to travel the world for a travel agency company.
Probably one of my best times was doing aerials over the Grand Canyon at dusk. And that was beautiful. That was memorable.
She made her way to Baylor College of Medicine, doing video there, and then ultimately making her way into public education.
I started at HCDE in 2011, and that's when I met Debbie.
The beauty of being in education is that We got to go into some excellent classrooms and got to work with teachers who just, their heart was all about the children and doing what was best for children. It's always about what's best for these kids.
I knew the other people on the video team, but Debbie was always heart and soul.
I just absolutely loved my time there at Houston Independent School District.
I don't know, I mean, it comes through on her speech too, almost. Like it's so like comforting to listen to her voiceovers.
Everybody at HCDE knows Debbie's voice. She has become the voice of HCDE, but very few people probably know what she looks like or who she is.
And it's not just the comfort of her voice, it is her entire personality that just draws you in.
She cares about people. I really think that she looks at her craft as an opportunity to illustrate the good in people. And you don't often find that. And she's not acting either. That is 100% her.
My husband Gary and we have been married for 21 years, and we have two beautiful children, two sons, my Stephen and my Andrew. Gary and I say that Stephen and Andrew are our best productions yet. Gary is also in video as well. My team, I love my team. I am working with probably the best people in the industry, people who are so talented, people who work incredibly hard. So when I first came on board, everybody said, oh, it's like a family, it's like a family. And I'm like, okay. And it is like a family.
You've got Monet and you've got Van Gogh, and they have their styles as artists. I believe she's an artist as well. What she does with moving pictures and telling stories is artful. And I'm glad that I get to learn from her, and I'm glad I get to be mentored by her. It is something that I'm very, very glad that she's in my life.
This year particularly has been a little tough. But she's been, sorry, don't do this. She's been there for me.
She does everything with heart, and I think that's part of what makes her so special. She's more than a videographer, she's more than a manager, she's more than a communications person. She's someone that brings heart and love to everything we do.
She's just a really genuine, sweet person, and I love her.
In the 3 years that I've been here at the Harris County Department of Education, I have become enriched by the people that are here and the people that I've come across. I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be here.
I'm pleased to introduce our November Employee of the Month, Debbie Sanchez-Treese.
be in the middle? You be in the middle? There you go. There you go. Ready, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Got it.
As Debbie gets resettled, I've got a few things I want to say. Now, perhaps one of her greatest talents is making stuff that's extremely uncomfortable comfortable. I absolutely hate filming videos. I hate it. I've never liked to film videos ever, any place I've ever worked at. And, you know, Debbie has tried every technique in the world to get me to like to do videos. So she has surprised me in my office before where I come in and there's all these lights set up and I'm like, oh, we're doing a video today? She's like, oh, they didn't tell you? I'm like, man, do I have to do it today? I mean, I act like a 10-year-old when it comes to doing these videos. But just so incredibly good at being positive. I remember one of the first convocations you participated. I'm about to tell you some things I've never told you. One of the first convocations we did, and we were doing the service awards, and I was reviewing the videos and stuff before we actually performed. Now, I said to Danielle, I'm like, who's doing all these voices? And she's like, that's Debbie. I'm like, dang, she got skills. I'm like, listen to that voice. It sounds like it's a commercial. She's got an incredible voice. But Debbie is so genuine, such an integral part on helping to shape and mold and project what we truly are as an organization to all the people who would watch us. Creative. I have dressed up as a cowboy. I have dressed up as Captain Supersize. I have dressed up as a king, a jester, all of that stuff. And she sits there with a big smile on her face and like, come on, do that little thing you do. Do that. That's great. So I'm so appreciative of you. But more than that, I mean, you really illustrate how fortunate Harris County Department of Ed is. They have so many people who have actualized mastery of their craft. And you are a prime example of that. That the things that come easy for you are extremely difficult for other people. And that's what mastery looks like. And to that and to your family, I appreciate you and I love you. Congratulations.
I just want to add that we really, really adore you here. And you have brought so much compassion to these videos that would have been ordinary without your touch. I see the pride and adoration on your mom's face, and it's rightful. Thank you for everything. Congratulations.
I have to jump in. I'm sorry I was late. I was driving like a bat out of hell to get here for Debbie's presentation. Missed the presentation and the picture, but have to chime in and just add to the congratulations and the long overdue recognition for your great work here at HCDE. And it has been a personal privilege of mine to be able to work with you and to be a part of all the great work you do for HCDE and for the community at large. Thank you so much.
Hello. Okay. I would like to add on. I think you are amazing, and you're exceptional at the work you do. Because when I say those, I fall out of bed, and Debbie puts a video together, and I just look like the man. I'm like, okay, thank you. I just woke up. Okay. All right. So I'm appreciative of you, and I'm glad you're on the team, and yeah, many more years of success for all of us. Okay.
slide over a little bit so I can actually see you. But yes, your mom is here, and you have recorded me so much that my mom posts your videos and said, "This is my son." So thank you for she records, for those who don't know, she records all of us board members at some point. She's came to my house, she's come and recorded me on so many ways, but I know you have your sons here, and I'm glad that you're able to put me in the light with even my mom is proud. So thank you, and mom and sons and hubby, I know y'all all are proud, and we thank you for letting us borrow her and make us all look beautiful up here. That she makes us all look good. So thank you very much. But thank you very much, Debbie. We appreciate you.
I want to thank you too, Debbie. I mean, I've been on TV, I've cut commercials. I have to say the stuff that you've done is probably better than anybody else I've worked with. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know everyone here at HCD just absolutely adores you. Well overdue. Thank you, Debbie.
Okay, this last one. Okay. Debbie, just thank you for having good energy. And thank you for being that support system to your teammates and then to your coworkers. Thank you for being such a good group that integrating her into the culture has been a great experience for her. So I just want to thank you all for that as well.
Debbie, when I came onto this board in 2019, it's my first elected position. And I had a lot that I needed to learn very, very quickly. And very soon after that, I got a call that you were going to come to my house and you were going to record me. And I was so nervous. I was so incredibly nervous. And I thought, oh my gosh, what is this going to be like? And you came over and you made me feel so comfortable. And you made me feel beautiful. And you helped me tell my story. Yeah. So thank you so much for that. And I just want to let you know that you helped me grow because I feel so much more comfortable in front of the camera. And I'm glad that you were my first experience with that. So thank you.
You've clearly touched us all. Thank you so very much. We'll move on to the superintendent's report.
Thank you. I just have 4 updates for the board. We have some important dates around the corner. The first, you should have this little flyer with the Bates Collision, which is an annual thing we do during the holiday seasons. But this one is actually special because this is the 25th annual car giveaway. And so we're going to actually host that here. And we're going to do both giveaways at the same time, but we're going to have a ceremony where we can certainly recognize the Bates family and their philanthropic donations that they've done to a caring, needy family, Head Start family. It's awesome. It's the best way to start a holiday season is to give someone a vehicle that could be the pivot point in their life, and it's always well-deserving. Certainly this family is one that should model what so many private companies should try to do is collaborate with public entities to help improve our society through the gift of giving. Second, I want to show you, you've got this fold out. That is a mailer that's gone out to over 1 million residents in Harris County sometime this week. Am I right on that, Clark?
Yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Today and tomorrow, this will go out to 1 million people. And so the last one of these that we'll do for a little bit, we're doing some adjustments to our awareness campaign, and it may go through a different name, but you have that, and hopefully you will get that mailed to your house and you'll be able to see it there. So don't be surprised if people start coming to you saying, I saw you in the mail the other day. It's usually the flyer, because that's what happens. Holiday seasons and the receptions are right around the corner. Obviously, we've got Thanksgiving next week, but we do 2 holiday receptions for our staff. The first one will be December 6th at MPO, where we will have, I think, a lunch and snacks and stuff like that. More than anything, it's the opportunity for fellowship and to remind ourselves of all the things we should be grateful for. And then on December 19th or December 13th, we will have one the day of the board meeting here. So there will be a reception prior to the December board meeting. Which leads me to my 4th and final point. This building's about to go under tremendous renovations, and so we will start on the 4th floor, And if you look around on this floor, you'll see people packing and boxes and everything. Everyone's getting ready for the transition of moving out of this floor. This project just for this floor will take anywhere from 4 to 6 months. But what we hope is that when we come back, I can assure you this boardroom will look radically different. The whole floor will be thematic. It will be updated. This building was built in 1986 and has not been refreshed since then. And so you will see several cosmetic changes along with bringing the building into current code and doing some repairing the roof and HVAC. So what will happen is starting next month in the December board meeting, we will be hosting that on the 5th floor of our conference center. So it will no longer be in here until the renovations of this have been done. And so we're making arrangements to have a conference room over there to have executive session, but everything will take place on the 5th floor of the conference center. And with that, Chair, that's all I have.
Thank you, Superintendent. We are now on to the annual division updates by REI's Yolanda Pirtle, Director.
Good afternoon, President Duhan, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Colbert, Council, and Administration. I am Yolanda Pirtle, the Director for the Research and Evaluation, and I have the pleasure of giving our annual update. I want to start by first recognizing my team. If you would please stand. Let's give them a round of applause. Because of all the work that they do, I am here to present the work that they did over the years, and I just want to say that I appreciate each and every one of you, so thank you so much for your hard work and dedication. Thank you. So, who is REI and what have we been up to? So REI is a support divisions, and we work with HCDE and the different divisions here at HCDE by making decisions to help them make decisions by providing relevant, timely, and efficient data and information. And we do that through our accountability process, our service delivery reporting, our data dashboards, program evaluations, and research. And I'll talk a little bit about each of these in the next few slides. I'll start with our accountability reports. Every year we work with each division to come up with their accountability goals. They have a service delivery goal, an outcome goal, and a financial goal. And basically we sit with them at the beginning of the year to come up with their goal, and at the end of the year we collect the data for their goals just to determine if they met their goal or not. So that's a total of 20 divisions that we provide our lovely accountability reports for. We also work with 13 divisions for their client satisfaction. This can be anywhere from surveying their clients that they work with every day, or if their clients or participants, come to an event. So we'll send out a survey for them. And then we'll collect that feedback and we'll give it to them in a nice, pretty report, or they could get real-time data in a dashboard. We also handle the annual service delivery reports. What happens is every month we have divisions enter their service delivery numbers, which is the number of individuals they serve, into a system, and at the end of the year we collect all this data and we put together a nice service delivery report where we can show how many individuals HCD as a whole has served. Last year they had almost 300,000 individuals served. For students it was 250,000. 33 educators, and 6,500 support clients. Another thing that we do are our data dashboards. So we put these dashboards together for various divisions. If they're interested in seeing their data in a more visual way, what we do is we sit down with the division and we determine what it is they would like to see on their dashboard, and we kind of put it in a way that they can quickly get to it whenever they're trying to sit down and make a decision and they quickly want to see something. We put these together for each individual division. This is just a snapshot of some of those dashboards that we put together for our divisions. One new thing that we implemented in the last year are our data days, where we actually go sit down with divisions to go over the data that we have collected, or maybe they have some data that they want to sit down with us and discuss. So if you can see on the pictures, these are just some of the activities that we did. We had a total of 10 data events last year, really successful. One of them was our Client Satisfaction Data Day. And if you look down in the left corner, what we implement is called a stoplight activity, where we actually sit down with the divisions, look at some of their data points, something they're doing well, we'll put it in that green slide. If it's something they need to improve on, we'll put in that red slide. And they can go back with their team and discuss and figure out ways to improve those processes. We also do program evaluations. We have been doing Head Start and CASE for a number of years. Just last year, we included Center for Educated Success, where we are helping them with their feedback for their teacher certification program. Our research team has been really busy. Dr. Akua Obang, our research manager, was also selected to go to AERA, which is the American Educational Research Association, to present her research. She was selected out of 11,000 submissions, so we were really proud about that. And then Dr. Jesus Campos, he was able to share his research at the After School Alliance Lights On event. In partnership with CASE, he was able to share the impact that after-school programs have in the greater Houston area. We are also revamping our institutional review board. We have a few members who are on the committee, and basically this board is a select group of members who come together to review any research that's coming in, who wants to do research on our individuals, whether it's students, teachers, or just the employees here. We just want to make sure that all research that's being done is protecting our subjects and not doing any harm. And then we also completed a Head Start community assessment, as well as President Duhan, you requested a accessible parks data, I believe back early in spring, and we got that together for you as well. We have also taken advantage of our mapping program. So now we are putting sites onto a map. I believe Trustee Cantu, you had requested this on last year, and we made sure to get that done, put the different sites for the CASE for Kids program sites on the map. We also, at the Lights On event, put together a map that showcased all the community centers that are getting funded by our 21st Century Grant, and it kind of shows the impact that some of the funding for the 21st Century Grant Cycle 10 ended, and it shows the impact that that had on the community. We also put together some maps for our Accessible Parks report, as well as for the community assessment in our Head Start. Some of the trends that we noticed over the last year, we did get an increase in our data dashboards, and we are very happy to complete those for the different divisions, making sure that they personalize and that the divisions are able to access them and make the decisions according. We also have an increase in our program evaluations, which is also good because if more people are evaluating their programs, this can lead to program improvement, which means we improve our services that HCDE provides. We are also continuing to leverage internal data. So in the past, we would do research on maybe some external or some current trends. Now we're kind of looking at the data that we have in-house and seeing what research we can pull from there. And that way, it can also highlight the work that some of the divisions are doing here at HCDE. So just a timeline of events for us. Right now, we are currently helping some divisions visualize their work through their data dashboards and day-to-day events. We're sitting with them, making sure they understand their data, and if they need any help reading their data, we're here for that. And we're increasing our program evaluations, Head Start, CASE, and CES now, but in the future, we hope to get more, as well as reaching externally for that. And as far as research, we are doing research on current events now. We're doing a little bit internally, but we would like to expand that and do more internal research, more external research, and eventually, hopefully, get a publication in the process. So that is my time. What questions do you have for me?
I have a little bit.
Yes.
So for data analytics, like platforms, what vehicles are we using?
We are still using SPSS at the moment, and then in our survey platform, which is Qualtrics, they have a StatsIQ, and they have it's an IQ system to kind of analyze all the data. Oh, sorry, StatsIQ and TextIQ, which it can analyze like words and everything. So we're using those two platforms at the moment.
I would encourage the department to consider either R. That's a really well-used statistical platform.
Okay.
RStudio, it's open source, and also Python.
Python.
Both of those are that's the new wave of statistics and data. People are. When I got my master's degree in data, those were the platforms we'd commonly use, which was R, which is open source, it's free, and Python.
Okay.
Both of those are. We're not using Excel. We're not using any other platform.
We have Excel, yes. We do put most of our data in Excel, but we analyze it in SPSS and that StatsIQ.
Okay. We're doing regressions and looking for.
The StatsIQ does all of that. Correlations, regressions, yes.
Okay. Cool. Okay, very good. Thank you for your hard work.
Sure.
I'm so excited about this, actually. Will you allow doctoral students to come and you can train them on the software of how to run data? And
sure. I mean, yes, we have some experts on our team that would love to do that, I'm sure.
That's cool. Very cool.
You might want to talk with them, Erica. I know you have a hard.
Yeah.
I'd just like to say that y'all have done a really good job. We've been really pushing to try to not only look at data internally, but also externally. Yeah. You know, we're here to service 25 school districts in a landscape that's always changing, especially in this new time of accountability. And so, you know, y'all have come a long ways, that division, and just being able to use some of the tools and expanding and trying to find other tools to put in your toolbox to be able to do that. And I like the progress that I see your division going in, and I appreciate you and your entire team. So thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any other reports from board members, committees, or accolades for staff? No. It's bad timing because Richard stepped out, but I wanted to congratulate him for coming in first place in his race. Maybe we'll wait until he comes back. Moment. Right. We'll move on. Are there any reports from committee chairs?
I do have an accolade. I do want to do one because I think this is going to be Danny Norris's last meeting. So I want to let Danny know that I appreciate you being on this board with me, and you're probably my BFF here. You're my vice president. I'm sorry. I'm going to miss you, Danny. I'm going to miss you very much. I consider you and Richard us three amigos, and I'm going to miss you dearly. So I appreciate what you're doing, and I know you're trying to make a difference. But I'm just letting you know I am going to miss you, and I think others are as well.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not going to record. I got Eric.
If you guys don't mind. Yeah. Trustee Cantu, we wanted to take a moment to congratulate you for your first place position in the race for City Council. It has been wonderful working with you. It has been amazing to learn from you, and I believe that you will do a wonderful job when you win this next race. So congratulations and thank you. I was not making a statement because I was not sure if that was what you wanted to do, but it looks as though this might be Trustee Norris's last meeting as well. Trustee Norris, it has been amazing working with you. You have been an advocate for the community from the very beginning, and I appreciate watching you work, and I want to continue seeing the work that you can put in. So thank you very much. We've appreciated you guys immensely, and I look forward to seeing great things from you both.
So thank you, first of all, thank you. So, you who did not know, if you did not look all the way at the bottom of the agenda and wonder why on 9A there says something about replacing position 6 for precinct 1, it's like, what is that about? Well, last week I submitted my resignation because I am looking to run for District 142, which is the northeast corridor of Harris County. So I am looking to run for state rep, and by law I have to resign because we make a whole $6 a month here, and apparently that's considered lucrative according to the Texas legislature. But I have really enjoyed my time here. I mean, it goes all the way back to really, I came to the seat back when I was trying to figure out, after I got a little disturbed by where I thought our country and our politics were going, and I figured I could do more than just shake my fist on Facebook. So when Erica Lee Carter, who was in this seat before me, told me she wasn't going to run again, asked me was I interested, I asked her more about the position, and she told me the type of demographics that fit. Trustee Duhan made it not too long afterwards. But when I got on this board, it was a little bit rambunctious, to say the least. I think my very first meeting, we fired our lobbyists. We went to a session with no lobbyists, and we were had 3 or 4 bills pending against us to shut us down. Very rambunctious times, to say the least. I remember hearing audible gasps from some of the decisions that were going on from the Diaz, like my first meeting, and everybody in the audience is going, oh my gosh. So needless to say, we've come a little bit of a way since then. So a long way, yes. So I was very thankful when Trustee Duhan and Trustee Hinojosa joined us. Things completely shifted, and then Trustee Brown and Trustee Davis, they joined us as well. It just became a whole different tune on this board. So it has been a joy. I have literally seen kids that when we've done site visits, I've seen kids that have gone from needing to be physically restrained because they have been have outbursts that bad, to watching them do chess matches a couple weeks later. I've seen kids that have gotten kicked out of their school, and all of a sudden they go to tech tournaments and win. So that is what I've witnessed just in my short time being here. This place literally saves lives and changes lives. So I have been super happy to be a part of that. And at this point, I feel like I need to go upstream. And for those who are trying to figure out what upstream means, there's a parable. You may have heard of it, but there's a parable basically where there's a group by the side of a river, and they see a baby floating down the river, and they run in and they go grab the baby, take it out, and then some more babies come down, and they start running in and grabbing the babies, and then more and more babies are coming down the river. And eventually somebody gets out the river and starts walking, and they say, well, where are you going? All these babies are coming down. And they say, well, I'm going to figure out who's throwing the babies in the river. I'm going upstream. So I appreciate all the babies that we've caught in this department. I'm just looking to go upstream and see if I could do a little bit more to help address some of the issues. So thank you. It has been a joy. Thank you very much.
So many of you know Trustee Norris and I go way back. We did our undergrad together. We were engineering students at the Cullen College of Engineering at U of H. We graduated together. It's been a pleasure serving on this board with you. I'm really, really proud to be a part of your circle, and I was just very, very proud to stand next to you on this board. So thank you for being who you are. It's important to have people in this circle, on this board, with good hearts, who make good decisions and have all of our kids and teachers in mind. So thank you.
Trustee Cantu and Trustee Norris, it has truly been an honor to serve with the both of you. Congratulations on your future endeavors. The constituents of Harris County and the city of Houston deserve leaders who can work across the aisle. And they also deserve leaders who can have healthy deliberation about issues that impact them on a daily basis. And both of you have shown that you are the leader in that regard. And so I just want to congratulate you and encourage you and thank you for your service and dedication to the Harris County Department of Education.
So first, to Trustee Cantu, I wish you the very best of luck. This is a righteous man, a fearless one, and a true advocate of people. And so we can think of no better person to serve as a public servant than someone who's willing to do it for free and is not afraid to sacrifice themselves to help others. So to Trustee Cantu, I wish you the very best of luck, and I feel confident that we will be losing you soon. So I'll do a more formal goodbye, once we get past that. To Trustee Norris, the only man I've ever seen out-eat Jonathan Parker. Mr. Parker can't keep up with Norris. He can throw it back. From the very first day, one of the things I do when the board members get on is I do a board orientation. And so we go out to campuses and we look at classrooms. We go see the kids, the people that you're actually representing and serve. And then we go out to lunch. And really, I'm trying to get a feel for why that person got on the board, what's their mission, what is every board member, trustee up here has something that's very close to them. And it's up to my job to try to figure that out and feed that cup. And it became very evident the moment I met you how much of a fearless leader you were for special needs students, for students in the community, and just really a public servant at heart. I don't know what you were doing in college, but I can imagine you out with picket signs and at the rally and the blowhorn, the whole 9 yards. And we've seen a little bit of that even in these board meetings where you've given us a history lesson. And so Trustee Norris has got a big task ahead of him. And the fact that he's willing to resign, not knowing what's on the other side, he's not guaranteed to win, but he believes he can win. And that's what makes him a powerful board member. That's the kind of public servants that we want, because that's called faith and belief, and that you're committed to trying to advocate for the people who need advocacy. And so we hate to lose him here at Harris County Department of Ed, but we are confident that we will get people who are built from the same, cut from the same cloth as you are. And I like to think the Harris County Department of Ed makes, and we crank out good public servants. This is good training for our future mayors and commissioners and representatives and senators, and and I think Trustee Cantu and Norris will certainly make us proud, and they'll be our advocates in the community, we hope, if they do succeed at what they're trying to do. So I remember the good and the bad, and this board has gone through an incredible transformation, one that I've never seen in my whole career. And a lot of that's a testament to people who got onto something that didn't look pretty at the time. There weren't people lining up to try to get on this board. A lot of our trustees were stepping into the fire, thinking that they could do better. And ultimately, we've done just that. I'll end it with this. It was said earlier, and I think you said it, Trustee Norris, that we actually, Harris County Department of Ed, changes lives, saves lives. And this has been demonstrated multiple times, that we have kids in college because this place existed. And they could be far, far worse, including a grave. And it's because of the governance of this board that it's allowed us to actually demonstrate, actualize, and practice the thing that we try to master, as I've talked about with Debbie before. So I appreciate your support and leadership. I wish you the very best of luck. If you need anything, you have but to ask. Thank you, sir.
Just love you guys. We'll move on to the monthly financial report, please. Dr. Amesqua.
happens every month. This will be the last time that you get to hear my my report. A fire alarm went off. Let me just make sure that they clear the room. Oop. Okay. Our financial highlights as of October 31st. This is the second month of the year. All our information is posted on our website. And you see 3 stars that we just recently were continued to be awarded by the Controller's Office for our transparency. And you have a bag that has 3 stars in your place that signifies those transparency stars. Our total balance sheet is $28,582,898. Liabilities of $2,535,930. Equity of $26,046,968. Our unaudited fund balance estimated as of September 30th is $26,046,968. And because of a lot of our tax revenues are still not in, we have net excess deficiency of revenues over resources of $88,655. Our financial ratios for the month, again, this is the second month of the year, so it's early in the fiscal year. Our percentage of fund balance to expenditures ratio, 228% versus 211 at the same time last year. Again, part of that is because it's only 2 months out of the year. Working capital ratio still holding at 26 million versus 24 million last year. Unassigned fund balance ratio is at the same time is typically around 70-80%, and that's where we're at this point in time in the second month of the year. Debt to income ratio, we have not paid any payments for debt service yet. The first payment will be in February, so you will see this change in the February report. Total tax revenue to revenue ratio, again, we haven't received our taxes yet. We typically started receiving in the month of December. So for the same as last year, we did not receive any this particular month. Our indirect cost ratio, we're at 2% versus 2.5. A lot of our grants are ending and we're starting to get new ones, so this will probably even out as we start getting more grants later on in the year. Fee for service ratio, revenue ratio, we're at 47%, a little bit ahead than last year, and a lot of that is because a lot of the contracts with our special schools that we have an increased amount of contracts that have come before the board, and so you see that it's roughly about a 25% increase in contracts. Our growth ratio, we're at 58% at the same time. Last year we were at 39%, and part of that is the additional contracts that we've been receiving, that we've been contracting with our school districts. Our inflows of revenues year to date, we are at $14,638,085. We're at the second month of the year of 17%, so we're at 13% in the general fund. And in expenditures, we are at 17% on target as of the second month of the year. So overall, we're at 20% budget to actual. Our COVID expenditures in Head Start, our COVID Head Start grant has already fully spent, so there's nothing else left in that federal grant. We still have $426,000 for some expenditures later on in the year for our COVID relief that the board set aside back in 2020. Our donations report for the month of October, $390, $140 in cash and $250 in kind, primarily Choice Partners donations. The values for property values for the first month were at $657 billion. We started the year with 639, so certified is already 626, and we're projecting that we're going to get another 20 billion between now and the end of the year. So should that happen, then we would see an increase in our revenue based on that added valuation. The year to date, we're at $641 in tax collections. Again, the tax statements go out this month, so we'll start receiving those in the month of December. Again, this is normal. Last year, we were at the same time, we were at 0% in terms of collection for the second month. Our disbursements as of October 31st are $4,562,728. All the checks and disbursements and transactions are posted on our website. Our segment data in terms of divisions, benefit variance, a subsidy of $292,931 for Center for Educational Success. Records management, $389,778. School-based therapy, $1,130,793, and schools of $1,861,401, which will be because we have a lot of the revenues have been booked, but a lot of the expenditures will be expended out for the remainder of the year. Choice at 357%. The variance in the transfer is $1,524,476 so far during the first 2 months out of the year. So amendments for this month, we have Center for Educator Success for one position and some increases in contracts, $77,711. ABE's contract with HISD's food, music therapy, and books, $362,000, and we're increasing also some of our revenues. And then a roll forward with some purchase orders that were carried forward at the end of the year that were not utilized and rolling them forward to the current year, $526,532. Our educational foundation update. We have equity of $806,598 in cash at the foundation, and primarily our programs include, EcoBot, Adult Ed, support services, Energy for the Future, Partners in Education, Tools for Teachers, Head Start, Focal Point, and unrestricted funds overall at this point in time for the year. Our PFC, our Revenue Projects Update. We continue with a small business program for construction. We will continue to update as we get the final payments for the year. So our balancing acquisition for as of October 31st, let me make this a little bit bigger. We're at, we still have in the PFC, $4,681,000, and maintenance notes, $7.8 million, a total of $12.5 million in the capital improvement program. And in our projects, we're at 99%, and the first one is, make it a little smaller. ABE's project, 99%. Irvington 45, High Point East 92, Adult Ed 94, so overall we're at 84%. As far as the Irvington, there's an agenda item for Irvington. We have a total of $8,111,290 available, and we're going to add some of these encumbrances that we have, so we have a total of $9,158,000. Which means that the difference will be towards the maintenance notes for 2024, which will be probably in the month of February, where we'll issue the additional maintenance note for continuing with that project, for a project of $5.6 million added to that project. We're looking at two projects for 2024 and 25, primarily maintenance notes of $14 million, and lease revenue financing for $15 million. Again, those will be brought to you in the month of February possibly for issuance in the month of March. And that's the report for the month of October. What questions do you have before we go into the investment report? Nope. Okay. Let me go now into the investment report. Our investment report as of October 31st, 2023. Our policy is certified by the Government Treasurers Organization of Texas. Our portfolio is $40,198,123, and Public Facilities Corporation $388,405. The portfolio is primarily 41% in Lone Star, 24% in Texas Class, 1% in Techstar, 28% in TechSpool, and 6% in Chase. And the PFC is only 79% in TechSpool and 21% in Bank of Texas funds. When you compare the portfolio from a year ago, we've spent all our capital projects, and so our portfolio has gone down by 32%. Because we have spent the money, so therefore the portfolio is no longer there because we have spent that into the project. So last year we had the same time we had 58 million. Now we have 14.1 million in terms of our portfolio. Our funds are pretty much overnight, 39.8 million. They're available, and we have in the first 2 months earned 371,978, and in the PFC 4,179. Our market, we're yielding 5.93, and our benchmark is 5.4. And you see the increase in the rates right now in the 5.2 to 5.3 area currently. And so those are the rates that we normally will see in the different rates. So they're within 1 or 2 basis points of each other. So that's the report for investments. What questions do you have?
In the investment report, I don't know if it was last month or prior to that, but there was a higher percentage in TechSpool as comparatively, right? Can you talk to me a little bit about when that transition, it was the next slide, I think, that I was talking about. I know that one diversified a lot, but this was higher before, wasn't it?
This one varies from month to month as the money comes in, depending if we have more drawdowns or less drawdowns. When we pay, if we have to use more money from it because taxes are not here, as taxes get collected, a lot of that money goes into our Techstar first, and then that number gets increased by about 20%, which makes this number go down.
Sure.
So because right now there's only 1%, we use that money from the taxes to go directly into Techstar. And so that's really the tax money that comes in every month. And then we held it, and we take about 25 to 30% in each of the buckets. Now, right now, because there's no taxes that have come in for this year, this number right here is higher, Lone Star. So those are the 2 primary ones that we utilize the most, TechSpool and Lone Star, where we have our primary monies when money comes in from grants or money that comes in from tax collections.
Right. I appreciate
so
that.
You'll see probably a shift to about 25 to 28% across all of these.
On the next slide, that used to be a little bit higher portion in TechSpool. Was that a change that you were slowly making as the interest rates were raising?
No, this is because there's very little money here. This used to be $10 million over time, and so everything was in TechSpool. As the money comes into TechSpool, we draw it down, and then from there we pay the vendors. And so this number basically has gone down to almost zero, as you can see. So this will eventually is going to fade out, and we will not see this slide probably in about 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are moving on to the consensus agenda.
I'm sorry, just a reminder, I gave you a copy of our conflict of interest for the public hearing, so there's two areas where you need to either mark not applicable, sign it, and then I'll pick it up at the end of the meeting.
Could we get pens? I don't have one.
Masqua. Do y'all need a moment? Is there anyone that would like to pull anything from the consensus agenda?
E1, E2, and E3.
Anyone else? All right, seeing none. Do I have a motion to pass the consensus agenda? Except for E1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
So moved.
Motion made by Trustee Norris, seconded by Trustee Cantu. Let's put it for a vote. All in favor? Thank you. Thank you. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, let's put it for a vote. All in favor? Motion passes 7-0. Now we will move to E1. Approval to rescind contract award 23008EJ, advisors, coaches, counselors, speakers, and trainers, and contract award number 210560-3, short-term vocational programs for adult education to Healthy Boundaries. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Trustee Norris, seconded by Trustee Hinojosa. Do we have discussion?
Yes, I'm just looking for an explanation. And in fact, can we do all three? Okay.
Accept it.
Primarily, these are terms and conditions associated with the contract and also being able to meet the minimum standards.
Do we have something we're going to do to replace this service?
We'll develop another request for proposal to make sure that we have adequate coverage in those areas.
Okay. All right. Any other concerns? Let's put it to a vote. All in favor? Motion passes 7-0. E1, 2, and 3. Moving on to the non-consensus. 7-1, approval of guaranteed maximum price amendment for Irvington renovation project with Durotech, Inc. CMAR work project package number 2 in the amount of $11,800,205 and delegate authority to HCDE superintendent or his designee. Do we have a motion?
Moved.
I would ask President Duhan if we could pull this into executive session to get some legal counsel and then come back out and vote on it after executive session.
Sounds good. Sorry, motion to talk about. Got it. Thanks. 7-2, approval of the job order contracting project delivery method and JOC contract with Quality Security Systems in the aggregate amount of $220,463 for access and security services for HCDE's administration building. And delegate authority to HCDE superintendent or his designee to negotiate, finalize, and execute JOC contract. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Trustee Norris, seconded by Trustee Hinojosa. Do we have discussion?
Can we just get an explanation, please?
This is will be part of the Irvington renovation project. We're using the JOC contract through our choice partners with Quality because Quality is our access control, fire alarm, security guy that knows all the ins and outs of the access control systems as well as the Vanderbilt systems that we will replace here during the project.
Trustee Cantu? Do we need to move this with the other item? Okay. All right. Any other discussion? Seeing none, up for a vote. All in favor? Motion passes 7-0. 7-3, ratification of service agreement with Pioneer in the amount of $136,732 to provide moving services for the Irvington renovation project.
So moved.
Motion made by trustee Norris, seconded by trustee Hinojosa. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, put it for a vote. All in favor? Motion passes 7-0. Oh, and we are at executive session. That's fast. Okay. Under the Texas Government Code pursuant to any and all purposes permitted by sections 551.001 to 551.084, including but not limited to 551.071, 551.074. We are going to executive session at 2:13 p.m. Executive session at 3:14. Do we have a motion? Oh.
All right.
We're doing 7-1.
I move to delegate authority to HCDE superintendent or his designee to negotiate, finalize, and execute the GMP amendment. A budget amendment is proposed to fund this project.
Do we have any discussion? No. Motion made by trustee Hinojosa, seconded by trustee Cantu. And we can put it to a vote. All in favor? Motion passes 7-0. Do we have another motion?
Yes, as my final motion on the board, I move that the board calls for resumes and a completed affidavit of eligibility for individuals who are interested in being appointed to fill the vacant HCDE trustee position 6, Precinct 1. Individuals to submit their information no later than noon on November 28th, 2023, in anticipation of a call board meeting on or about November 29th, 2023, to appoint an individual to fill the vacancy.
Motion made by trustee Norris, seconded by trustee Hinojosa. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, we'll put it to a vote. All in favor? Trustee Cantu. Motion passed at 7-0. All right. Let's go down to item 10, discussion and possible action regarding future agenda items. Go ahead.
Okay, this is not necessarily a motion, but this is one thing I did find out. Somebody mentioned to me, there's a section called on Google called Grow. There's a number of programs and things like that, and I just realized there's a number of certifications and things like that that are out for adult education. That just made me think of it just made me think of adult education specifically. So one of my last charges is to look for opportunities for our students when they finish our GED programs and things like that, to look for the next level, things that can help improve their skill set so they can go out and make money and make us all look well, but go out there and do things in the community. So that's something I would like to just put note as a charge from the organization from this side. Hopefully I can tell you some more from Austin, but for now, this is something I thought you should check it out.
Thank you so much, trustee Norris. All right, guys, we're adjourning at 3:17.
I move that we adjourn.
Thank you. And then motion made by trustee Davis, seconded by trustee Knowles. All in favor? And we're adjourned at 3:17 p.m.